Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Hi. So, welcome. And today's satsang is about my mystical experience this morning and over the last days. So, I woke up at 3 o'clock, and I don't sleep much these days. If I sleep till 3 a.m., I'm super happy. So instead of struggling, going back to bed and suffering for another 2 hours or so, I just say, okay, I'm up. And I'm up. And I start my day by moving out to the shared space and doing some stretching, some light asana, listening to some nice raga like we're listening to now, and just see what develops. So my practice, if you can call it that, is completely intuitive and spontaneous, like just feeling into my body, what feels tight, what wants to be stretched, how would I stretch it, and just waiting for that intuitive guidance to lead me through what the body wants for the day. And sometimes that will develop into spontaneous kriyas. So when the kundalini is active in your body, when it's awakened, fully awakened, even when it's stirring, kriyas appear, which are spontaneous movements. So it's not an asana that I intuitively feel into, it's just a happening within my body-mind field, of which I'm aware of and surrendered to. That's a kriya. Spontaneous. So in Yogi Bhajan world, kriya is something you do. In Shaktipat world, it's kriya is something that's a blessing happening to you to bring you closer to love and joy and light. So, this morning, my intuitive flow quickly morphed into kriyas. And suddenly it felt like super sedated, like drugged, like under sedation for a surgery or something, like this kind of sedation. I was still conscious, but only semi-conscious. And the Kundalini Shakti, she was putting me in this kriya, so this physical expression of the kriya, where it was my neck laying prostrate on the floor with my neck turned to the right. I have a lot of neck issues on my right side, still going on for years. Like a lot of work's been done there, a lot of freeing up, but Shakti's always going to town on my neck, like freeing up more room in my neck and shoulders, my jaw. So in this position, in this kriya, in this manifestation of getting well, the divine helping you reach whole, wow. The divine enabling you and blessing you to realize the divine in yourself. That's what a kriya is. So the most important thing with a kriya is don't interfere with the kriya. So the kriya is like the perfect divine medicine for your enlightenment, and by you tempering it, or too much now, or I'm scared of it, or resisting it, or modifying it in any way is not a good idea. Let it flow. Especially if you're home, alone, or 3 in the morning, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, just surrender to it. Still is difficult. So I was in the kriya, and I could feel my jaw and my face like pressing against the floor. And the reaction on the other side of my neck, where the issues are, was like releasing energetically based on just subtle movements on the floor, not even movements, like awareness flowing from the side of my face to the right side of my neck, and then releasing, and even a big crack happened. And during this time, it must have been about an hour plus, I don't know, I was in another, not in trance, but I'd say like a semi-trance. Like I was aware that I was aware, but I was definitely in an altered state, heavy sedative state, but a beautiful one, not like one that you're struggling to get out of, one that's like just amazing gift from the Divine Mother, from Shakti Kundalini herself. So I'm in this kriya, and my thoughts are like, trancy thoughts. There's thoughts coming everywhere or whatever, and you're just not even paying attention to the thoughts. You're just in this semi-trance. And in this state, suddenly comes a voice in my head. And you might say that's a little abnormal, yes. And this voice doesn't sound like the other voices in my head. It sounds like authoritative and like guiding and helpful and going to help me out of thoughts. So it starts showing me when I start habitually paying attention to the thoughts, and starts telling me, no, you did it again. Bring your awareness back to equanimity or neutral, and being aware of being aware, rather than getting hypnotized and entranced by the flow of thoughts. And if you think about it, that's the condition that everyone in ego consciousness is in, is they believe their thoughts to 100%, and it's all they are their thoughts, or they put great weight in their thoughts, and they're watching the train of thoughts and acting on the train of thoughts. They're literally entranced, hypnotized by their own thoughts, which, what are thoughts anyway? Are they even yours? Are they the person in the next room? Are they from the field? Are they a memory that's distorted? Are they just that's what the mind does and it's not you at all? Like, those are all possibilities, right? You are not your thoughts. We hear that. So if you are not your thoughts, like, what are these thoughts? Like, they're not, you think the same thing 90% as the next day. It's like all these studies have shown that. Habitual thoughts and habitual thinking. And by you paying attention to that stream, you're basically like giving all your energy to that construct, the body-mind ego construct, and believing that's you, the flow of thoughts. And you're gonna, instead of acting from intuitive guidance or surrender, you're acting from your thoughts, which is super problematic, obviously. So the inner voice was guiding me every time I did it habitually, was pulling me back to Om Mani Padme Hum. So this is a mantra. Now we have to get into the difference. So a mantra yoga, a mantra Shakti. So a mantra can be empowered no matter what, if that's your experience that it's empowered. That's saying the first of all. So the goddess is everywhere. Any mantra can be charged, even the one you get from a book. But it's highly unlikely. Can happen. Everything's possible. But the mantra you receive from someone who empowers it with Shakti, who has that capacity for Shaktipat, that's a mantra that is charged already with super divine power. And then it's used, like Muktananda used Om Namah Shivaya. So his Shakti is super strong, one of the strongest on record, right? And he gives you a mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, and it starts working wonders within you. And what is it? One of the things the mantra is supposed to do, can do, is cut the stream of thoughts, to stop the habitual thinking. And the mantra kind of takes root in your being and starts to do its magic. And one of the magic aspects of mantra is, and people use it for, cutting the thoughts. But Om Mani Padme Hum is a mantra I've never said like spontaneously before. It's never come out of my mouth. I've said it in kirtan. It started flowing through. And it was helping me cut the attention given to the thoughts. So I would start falling into a habitual thinking about whatever, and then suddenly Om Mani Padme Hum would start playing in like the other voice in my head, and I shifted my attention automatically to Om Padme. Again and again, it happened again and again, and it was Om Mani Padme Hum was playing in the background all the time if I'd only pay attention to it. And Om Mani Padme Hum, a charged mantra from the goddess, from blessing, is automatically drawing me unto itself and away from my thoughts. And that's an empowered mantra. That's what it's supposed to do. Immediately, like remind you it's there, it's grounding, it's living within you. So what a blessing to receive this empowered mantra in my faceplant trance of this morning. And then during the meditation, I'm still admiring the mantra and the vibrancy and the frequency of Om Mani Padme Hum. And then all of a sudden, I feel the frequency and the bhava, that means the embodied possession of Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava. So it's been in the field before. I consider it like one of my guides, but it comes and goes, whatever. I don't call on anyone, it's just happening within consciousness. And there it was, palpable in the room, Guru Rinpoche in the body. And then the next bhava, some say happened rapid fire like that, is Kuan Yin. Also haven't felt her energy in a while, although she's come before. And then imagine like the Om Mani Padme Hum and how it flows into like the teachings of Guru Rinpoche, which I won't go into here, but very aligned with like the cutting the thoughts and the magic and all that, the second Buddha, the Shiva of Tibet, like wow. And Kuan Yin, of course, compassion and love, and like having that divine masculine and divine feminine and like the kind of the Asian stream. with the Asian mantra even. That was all this morning's action. And then it's continued throughout the day, this Om Mani Padme Hum feeling, the feeling of Padmasambhava, seeing the thoughts as a trance-inducing state and pulling people into trance, all just revealed itself seemingly in a single morning. Wow. Can we say Jai Ma? I mean, magic. Like, wow, yogi, extreme blessing magic. All I have to say is Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. I wish every being be happy and free, and whatever your journey is and whatever your path is, Om Namah Shivaya.